Well, I've got a toilet that's not working properly. What happens is when I flush it, it flushes, it just doesn't refill. You hear the water is not filling up. And I've found that if I take the cover off or just even slide the cover over, which is what I had been doing, and if I jiggle the float on here, it'll start to fill again. Well, there we go. But you don't have to do that every time. So we're gonna have to replace all the guts as we're gonna do. All these parts are pretty cheap, pretty inexpensive at your hardware store, Amazon.com, whatever, Lowe's, Home Depot. It's what it is right here. It's this Fluid Master setup of all these internal parts. So first thing we're gonna do is follow the directions and probably turn the water off. That's what we should do because we have to drain out this tank. So I have the pot down here and start assembling the valve. But before we do, I actually want to make sure that the new valve is going to fit, because according to the directions here, it says that we need to make sure that this is actually above the, what is it, the drain or the fill. Critical mark is above the top of the overflow pipe. And notice that this one isn't like that. You can see this head right here is below the overflow pipe. So you can expand this. I've already started expanding it by twisting it and get it higher and higher. As you can see, mine's already higher than that one in there. And let's turn the water off. Let's get to work. Water valve is right down there, shut off valve. So the rule with these is lefty loosey, righty tighty. Right, so it's open, turn to the left, turn to the right, we shut the water off. You can hear the water filling up, it stopped. So we shut it off. Don't turn it too tight. Make sure it's snug so no more water is going in there. We're going to end up having to disassemble everything underneath here so that it fits together without leaking. So now we need to get all these internal parts out of here. We got to get the water out of here first, and we'll do that by flushing, of course. Let the water out, all of it out. And we're going to end up replacing all these parts. We need to take the chain off of here and take the flapper off, take this off, and we'll replace this. This is going to stay. The chain will probably stay too. Actually, the flapper valve might have a chain on it. But we're going to have to undo this nut down here. I think it's done by hand. Let's see. Yeah. And we might have a little bit of water, which is why I have the pot over here. Yeah, there's definitely some water coming out. Let's get the pot. Oh, there you can see it. So speaking from experience now, I'd say you want to disconnect this tube here that runs from the shutoff valve up first so you can get your pot underneath. See, now that comes off. Oops. That comes off. Now we can get some more access under there. And there's plenty of water dripping. And then you loosen this one. Everything is lefty-loosey, right? Okay. This thing comes all the way off. And then you just pull it up through the top. Whole assembly. Yep. Ooh. Oh no. No. I gotta clean that up now. Oops. Okay, I got lots of towels to get the water. I just pulled this out. As you can see, this part is separated, and that's a problem. Let's compare it with what we've got right now over here. This part is together, and I've also unscrewed it so it's taller, as you can see. This one, we knew this one wasn't tall enough, so we will go with the higher setting. Alright, while we're in here, let's get this flapper valve off. I'm not sure how it's attached. I can see. Okay. It turns out this is just clipped on here. You can see? Okay. Easy enough. And we gotta take this chain off of here also. Alright, it took a little finessing, but we got this off. This was kind of hooked in there. I don't know if this is standard or not. If we need to reuse this part, we'll find out in a second. Well, here's the new one, and it does have the same thing in there, so we don't have to reuse it. Let's attach it, and is this one? Yeah, it kind of goes down. You can see, just like the other one. Push it right on, and easy enough to install. Let's do that right now. There we go. And then we attach it to this. We'll have to adjust this depending upon what caused it to lift up at what height. Okay, here's the new unit here. What is this called? The fill valve. New fill valve. Just drop it down in, and you can see it's higher. It sets higher than the previous one. Hopefully this, actually it looks like it's still below here. I'm gonna raise this up a little bit now that I see it. Raise it up even higher. All right, this looks like a good height. I'm gonna drop it down into the hole. We are above the overflow. And let's tighten it below. Still leaking a little bit of water out of here. Make sure this is snug. If you don't get this thing right, then this down here is your washer. It's gonna leak. It's gonna leak water all over the floor like we've already experienced. We don't want to see that happening anymore, so make sure it's snug, really snug. That was my foot on the scale. Now we reattach the supply line for the water. Also has to be snug. Otherwise you'll have a leak here too. I did attach the flapper valve earlier. You can see right here. Hopefully it makes it lift. And last thing is this tube here into the overflow, and then with this clip. You can see right here. This goes over the edge. Oh, almost. All right, that's just, we're going to direct the water in, stream into here. And we're going to connect the tube from here to here. Hopefully there's enough clearance overhead for this. I may have to go back with the other way they did it. There's a different connector on there. Yeah, this might not clear. See how high that is? Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. We don't have enough clearance. Well, unless I can... Let's see. I've twisted it a little ways around here, as you can see, to make it fit. And then hopefully this goes on here. Like so. Push it down a little further. You want to make sure these tubes are on all the way on those plastic parts that stick out, and that they don't pinch, which looks like it doesn't pinch. So I think we're ready to go. I think we're ready to test this thing out. This ready? What do you think? Looks good. All right, let's turn the water on. Moment of truth. I hope we don't have any leaks. Ooh. Oh. I see water leaking out of there. That doesn't look good. Is it supposed to leak out of there? Maybe it is. It's coming out of the bottom and it's coming out of here. See, there's something coming out on the valve down there. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. Do we see it leaking in the toilet area down here? I don't think so. It seems dry. But you want to check this even after you're done. Make sure that there's no leaks later on. It's filling very, very quickly. Alright, it's a little cloudy, but it's filled. It stopped. Let's see what happens. Oh, see, this isn't high enough. I'm going to need to adjust this already. It's not enough to lift that flapper valve up. Let's make the adjustment now. Alright, I was able to play with this and make it chain a little shorter to see if it flushes now. So it's filling there, also at the bottom on this one. It doesn't seem like it has a leak or anything. I think it's just filling in two different places. Seems like it flushes correctly. And again, check for leaks after you're done, because you're not 100% sure until everything's dry. Your whole floor is dry and you've got a chance to check to make sure that there's no water dripping on the bottom of the toilet. Just watch it fill. And it's my imagination too, or maybe the truth, that this is filling much more quickly than before, which is great. Alright, now put the cover on and try it. Alright, I think it fits in there. Let's see. Powerful, with a lot of water in there. Alright, it's refilling and it's not leaking. Yeah! Okay, let me know if you guys have done this and what your experience has been. And as I pointed out earlier in this video, I think that the previous one was installed incorrectly. That may have been why this toilet wasn't performing the way it's supposed to be and clogging too much. But we will see as we use it. Thanks so much for watching.